Welcome to everyone. Myself Adi Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE at M. Kumarasamy College of Engineering. So today's class we are going to discuss about resistor inductor circuit, right? So previous class itself we already discussed what is network analysis and what is network synthesis. So today's class we are going to discuss series RL circuit, right? So in this function our unit 1 is circuit transient analysis. Based on that we are going to design the circuit, right? So in this function, so we are going to analyze the resistance inductance circuit. Okay, so in this function the resistance and inductance are connected in series. So why we have to connect the resistance and inductance in series means in our unit 1 we are going to analyze the series network circuit, right? So in this function, so the given function is, so in this statement consider a series RL circuit as shown in figure, right? So this is the given figure. The switch is closed at time t equal to 0. So at this case we are going to, when at time t equal to 0, so we are going to analyze the resistor inductor series circuit analysis, right? So this is the function. So we already know the given statements. Based on this statement we are going to analyze the circuit. So what we are going to learn from this resistor inductor series circuit analysis means we are going to analyze the current source, right? So in this function, so before move on to the analysis, so we want to know the series, how we can connect the series RL circuit. So we are basic in the subject, so we should know how we can connect the resistance inductance in series path, right? So we know that so resistance inductance series connection is so this way. So resistance, so here we have the current source as well as we have the voltage source. So the condition is the switch is closed at time t equal to 0. So you can represent this functions, the switch function in this place, right? So here we have the active sources. So this passive element is seriously connected in this RL series circuit, right? So based on that you have to draw this diagram, right? So after draw this diagram you have to check the timing conditions. So different set of timings, what is your current values, right? So you are going to find that current function. So in this case, so before finding the final state of current, you have to know the initial state, what is your current function. Yes, so based on that, so first before switching at t equal to 0 minus, what is your current in this network, given network, what is your current, you have to find out. And the similar case at t equal to 0 plus, what is your current also you have to find out. So before that, so before move on to find out your current, why we need to analyze t equal to 0 minus or t equal to 0 plus, sorry. So in this case, so that 0 minus means before switching what is your current as well as voltage. So you have to find out before start your switching function what is your current as well as what is your voltage. Similarly, after switching functions also what is your current level as well as voltage in the given network, that is also you have to find out, right? So after that at steady state period what is your current, that is the final state of your current function. So that is also you have to find out, right? So is it clear? Yes, fine. So in this function, so at t equal to 0 minus, see here, so at t equal to 0 minus means before switching function the switch is a closed path, right? So there is no current flow at beginning state. So that means your IL of 0 minus or IL of 0 plus, which is I of 0 minus or I of 0 plus, which is equal to 0. Is it clear? Yes. So the next function is at t greater 0, right? See the condition. So at t equal to 0 means your circuit is in before switching what is your current. At t equal to 0 plus your circuit in after switching at initial position what is your current, you have to find out what is your current, right? So similarly at t greater 0, which means final state of your network, right? So at this case you have to find out what is the final current through the circuit, right? So in this case, so before apply the KVL, so here why we need to use KVL, so previous class itself we discussed. So the KVL, where we have to use KVL in the network circuit, so when the circuit is closed loop, right, with series connection of passive elements, at this case you have to use KVL to find out the current value. Is it clear? So the KVL means Kirchhoff voltage law. So where we have to apply when the switch is given network is closed path with series network connections, you have to apply KVL, right? So what is the function of KVL? So KVL means a closed loop when the potential rise which is equal to potential drop. That is the function of KVL. So we can represent in terms of equations, that is summation Vj of t which is equal to 0. That is the meaning of KVL, right? So this is the one loop. Here they have given the single loop. From this we have to find out the current by using KVL. Okay, so before applying your KVL, see the important case, you have to, when t greater 0, you have to convert given time domain circuit into frequency domain, right? So why we need to convert time domain circuit into frequency domain also we already discussed in the previous class. The main thing is given network should be in time domain, right? So because we are analyzing the transient response, right? So in this case the given network always should be in time domain, right? So you have to take a Laplace transform of time domain, you can get the frequency domain. Why we need to get the frequency domain function? Because the given network, suppose in moreover case the given network in complex mode means we have to analyze the network to be complex. So that's why we have to take the inverse Laplace transform of given time domain, you can get the frequency domain, right? So before applying KVL, this is the important case, you have to redraw the given time domain circuit into frequency domain. That is the important thing, right? So when we have to convert the time domain into frequency domain, how the circuit will be changed? See here, in this function I of t is given, right? So I of t is, when we have to take a Laplace transform of I of t, you can get I of s. See the current flow direction, it is also very important, right? See the current flow direction is in this way. Okay, so after that, so you have to check the voltage. So voltage is a constant term, so you have to take a Laplace transform of voltage, you can get V by S. So clear? The next, the resistance value is always same. Okay, there is no change in the resistance when you have to apply the Laplace transform, so you can get the same value, resistance R. Okay, and the next case is you have the inductance. When we have to take the Laplace transform of the inductance value, you can get Ls. Okay, so this is also important. Okay, so now you understood how we can redraw the given time domain circuit into frequency domain. Is it clear? Yes, fine. So the next thing is, so after redraw your given time domain signal into frequency domain, you have to apply KVL, right? So we already know that why we need to apply KVL and where we have to apply KVL. Is it clear? Yes. So here in this network they have given the single network, right? So through this you have to apply the KVL to the closed path. From this we can find the I of t, right? So now we are going to see how we can calculate the I of t for this particular network. Okay, so now you have to apply KVL. So what is KVL? What is the expression we have to find the I of t? That is summation Vj of t which is equal to 0, right? So you have to apply this concept in this diagram. Okay, so in this network you have to find out the I of s, right? So now you have to apply the KVL in this closed loop. You can get V by S, that is -2 plus. Okay, so the potential is rise in this part, so V by S, then this resistance values move to plus to minus, so you can write minus R into I of s. Okay, then this inductance value also moved into plus to minus, potential drop, so you can represent minus Ls into I of s which is equal to 0. Is it clear? Everyone can understand how we can frame the KVL loop? Yes. So in this function, after finding your KVL expression, what we have to do? We have to find out I of s. That is the important thing. Okay. So you see here, now you have to move this equation to the left hand side as well as right hand side. V by S which is equal to R into I of s plus Ls into I of s. Right. So in this part, what we have to do? Now we have to, at this case, we have to take I of s common. Right. So how we can write this expression? V by S which is equal to I of s. In this part we can take the I of s common, right? So I of s, after taken I of s outside, I of s into R plus Ls, right? So we can get this expression, right? So I hope up to this expression, any doubt? Yes, clear. Okay. So now what we have to do, so I of s which is equal to, what we have to do, we have to find out I of s from this network, right? So here we can move this I of s in the left hand side. I of s which is equal to, how we can write, V by s divided by, one second, so V by s divided by R plus Ls. Okay, so this is the final I of s value. So based on the network functions, we have to simplify this function, and finally through this we can get the I of t, right? So I of s which is equal to, how we can simplify this function again, so V by s into R plus Ls, right? So see the denominator function, this is the important case. Here you have to frame the sequence in terms of the polynomial order, that is s into s plus 1, like that you have to frame it. Okay, so based on that you have to rearrange this equation, right? So V by s into, so how we can rewrite this expressions, we can take L is common from this part, right? So L, if we have taken the L common outside, so s L into s plus R by L, okay, we can get this expression. Now, so after finding this expression, so we can write I of s which is equal to V by L, yes, V by L divided by s into s plus R by L. This is your final I of s. Okay, so now we can take the inverse Laplace transform of I of s, we can get the I of t. But before applying the inverse Laplace transform, you have to check, see the denominator function. Here we have two cases. If suppose in denominator function you have a single case, means you can directly apply inverse Laplace transform to get the I of t. That is the important thing. Okay, so but here we have the two cases, so what we have to do, we have to take a partial fraction. Okay, so why we have to apply partial fraction for this expression? Because in denominator we have two different cases, s into s plus R by L, right? So that's why here alone we have to apply partial fraction. See here, if suppose you with some other problem, any other problem, if you have find out I of s which is equal to a single case in denominator, means you can directly apply inverse Laplace transform. Okay, so in this problem we have two different cases, so that's why we have to take a partial fraction. So after taking the partial fraction, so how we can write the expression for partial fraction? B by L divided by s into s plus R by L, which is equal to, right? So how we can separate the partial denominator function for partial fraction? So here we have two cases, a divided by s plus b divided by s plus R by L, right? So now you have to take a partial fraction, that means you have to equalize the both the value v by L divided by s into s plus R by L, which is equal to, now you have to take a LCM, right? So that is cross multiplication, you have to take a cross multiplication, you can get a into s plus R by L plus b into s divided by s into s plus R by L, right? So now you have to equalize the both the term, this denominator both its side, the denominator is cancelled, so v by L which is equal to a into s plus R by L plus b into s, right? So now we can get this expression. So through this what we have to do, we have to find out a value as well as b value, then only we can find the I of s function, right? So now here we know that we have two cases, that is s equal to 0. From this expression we have two cases, that is s equal to 0 as well as s equal to minus R by L. Now you have to substitute this value in the above equation. Through this we can find the a and b value. Yes, so first you have to substitute s equal to 0 in the above expression. So what is the a value we can get? After substituting s equal to 0 in the above equations, so what is our a value? That is v by L, which is equal to a into, now you have to substitute s equal to 0 in this value, so you can get a into R by L plus b into s equal to 0, means b into 0, which is equal to 0, right? So we can get v by L which is equal to AR divided by L. Now you can cancel the denominator in both sides, so finally you can get a equal to v by R. Okay, so note down this equation number 1. Now after that we have another one cases, that is s equal to minus R by L. Now you have to substitute this value in the above equation. Okay, so in this equation you have to substitute v by L which is equal to a into s plus R by L plus b into s. Here we have to replace s by minus R by L. right? So after substituting s in the above equations, you can get v by l, which is equal to a into, see the expression, a into, here you have to replace minus r by l, s by minus r by l. So minus r by l plus r by l plus b into, here you have to replace s by minus r by l. So clear? Yes. So after that, v by l, which is equal to a into, so when you have to add this term, we can get 0. So a into 0 plus b into minus r by l, right? So through this we can easily find the b value. Yes. So see here, v by l, which is equal to minus b by rl. So both the denominator l cancelled. So v, which is equal to minus br. Through this we can find the b value, b, which is equal to minus v by r. So clear? Now we know the value of a as well as we know the value of b. So note down this equation number 2. B value is your equation number 2. Okay. So now what we have to do? We have to substitute a and b value in the given I of s function. Okay. After finding the I of s value is here. So through this we have to substitute a and b value. And finally we can get the I of s. Okay. So what is a value? So a value is v by r and b value is minus v by r. Now you have to substitute a and b value in the above equation. Okay. So that is I of s, which is equal to v by r divided by s minus v by r divided by s plus r by l. Right? Is it clear? Yes. So through this also we can take the v by r common. Okay. So v by r into 1 by, after taking the v by r outside, we can get v by r into 1 by s minus 1 by s plus r by l. Okay. So this is your final I of s. Now we have the separate, see the condition, why we have to apply the partial fraction. The meaning is we have to find out the partial denominator function in separate cases. Okay. So that is the reason in this problem we have to apply partial fraction. Okay. So after finding the I of s, what we have to do? We have to again convert your frequency domain into time domain. Why? Because they given network in time domain. So we have to get the original signals. So when we have to get the original signals, you have to apply inverse Laplace transform to I of s. Through this we can get the I of t. Right? So now you have to apply inverse Laplace transform of I of s. You can get, that is b by r into 1 by s. What is inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s value? That is equal to 1. Similarly, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s plus a, which is equal to e power minus at. Here a value is r by l. Okay. So you can apply this inverse Laplace transform equation to the above I of s value. Through this we can get I of t, which is equal to b by r into 1 minus e power minus r by l into t. The important case is at t greater 0, right? So this is the final analysis of RL series transient response. Okay. So this is the functions. Once again, just I will recall this topic, then we will move on to the next topic. So see the function. So in this statement, the given question is, consider a series RL circuit as shown in figure. The switch is closed at time t equal to 0. This is the concept. Okay. So you have to analyze the network at t equal to 0. How we can find the I of t for the RL series circuit. So that is we have to find out in this derivation. Okay. So this is the given circuit. So it should be always in time domain. Okay. So in network analysis, the given time signal, the given network should be in time domain. So you have to take a Laplace transform to find out the frequency domain signal, and finally you have to find out the time domain signal. Okay. So that is the important thing. So first what we have to do, you have to apply the timing conditions. Okay. So at initial condition, what is your current value, and final steady state conditions, what is your current value. That is the main thing you have to find out in this RL series circuit. Okay. So already we know that at t equal to 0 minus and t equal to 0 plus, there is no current flow in this path. So that is means I of 0 plus or I of 0 minus, which is equal to 0. Okay. After that you have to find out the steady state function, that is t greater 0. So in this functions, before applying KVL, you have to convert the given time domain signal into frequency domain. That is the important thing. Okay, so after finding the frequency domain signals, so you have to apply KVL. After finding the I of s, what we have to check? You have to check the denominator function. Okay, if you have 2 or more cases in the denominator function, what we have to do? We have to take a partial fraction, right? So after finding the partial fraction values, you have to get the I of s value. Okay, then you have to take a inverse Laplace transform, and finally you can get the I of t. So this is all about RL series transient response. Okay, so the next class we are going to discuss about RC transient response. Okay, series RC circuit transient response analysis. Okay, so up to this RL series circuit, any doubt? Okay, fine. So next class we will discuss about series RC circuit, okay, transient analysis. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for your response.